Blue Lock Chapter 295 might have been the hottest garbage of the year.
Not gonna lie, Kanashiro, we may have some major questions for you.
Before we get into that, let's start at the beginning of this mess. Chapter 295 starts with an inner monologue from Nagi. We get to see some flashbacks with him and Reo, as well as some of his key moments within Blue Lock, like overcoming some of his challenges and defeating Isagi, and of course his eventual fall from grace.
And after that, we jump straight into the beginning of the Battle of the Losers. Nagi and Reo get the game started.
Reo gets the ball, and it's clear that him and Nagi are moving with the shared motive of staying within the Japan U20 team.
With the current risk of elimination, Nagi and Reo are determined to make the right plays for Manshine City. The most surprising part of all of this is that Nagi is looking like Reo's help. In these moments, you can see that Reo is directing the play, and Nagi is acting as his shadow.
Nagi is committed to post-play and creating more options for Reo as his playmaker. This ultimately baffles FC BARCHA and creates a moment of confusion for Manshine City. Reo used this to his advantage, and he cleverly backheels the ball to Chigiri.
From here, Chigiri starts to terrorize the field, and he uses his 44 Panther snipe to score the first goal of this match.
As a Chigiri fan, I was very hyped by this. He's the man, and he gets another great goal, proving his value as a striker, and it looks like Manshine City might actually have a chance to beat FC BARCHA.
Reo and Chigiri have a quick celebration, and Reo has an inner monologue moment saying he got his first assist and now it's time for Nagi. However, this buildup was a huge pump fake, and the match ended right there.
After seeing small bits of the Battle of the Losers, we jump right back to Isagi's POV. Jinpachi Ego comes into the scene, and he congratulates Bastard Muchen as the champions of the Neo Egoist League.
But that's not all. Ego also states that he will announce the final salary rankings. Ego starts with number 1, and Isagi is watching with tons of excitement and anticipation. He knows this is his final moment to surpass Rin and become the center of the Japan U20 team.
But this instantly crashes down on him after seeing that Rin is still the #1 player in Blue Lock. After his recent performance, Rin earned a 240 million salary offer from the Spanish giant Real.
Isagi is crushed by this, but Rin calls Isagi his rival and tells him to pick his head up because it's not over yet. And to all of our surprise, Isagi is also the #1 player in Blue Lock.
Very confusing, but Isagi also gained an offer of 240 million yen from Bastard Muchen. Isagi and Rin are tied. Both players are listed as the #1 players in Blue Lock.
This is where we see that Isagi's reaction changes, and he knows this isn't a complete victory, but he's just hyped by this, and he lets out another huge victory roar.
The chapter ends with this panel of Isagi expressing his joy of becoming #1. We really need to break down what actually happened in this chapter.
I think it's time to discuss the meat and potatoes of this whole chapter. One of the big highlights of Manshine City was that Chigiri scored the first goal of this match. This is definitely solidifying his position, if it wasn't already, for a position in the Japan U20 team.
Along with Chigiri scoring the first goal, all the dreams of Nagi's hat trick are officially dead, and there's no way he's gonna pass 100 million yen now. I saw a lot of things on the internet, people saying, oh, Nagi's gonna get a hat trick, he's gonna get back into the top 5.
I won't lie, I was definitely a part of the few that thought that Nagi would be capable of pulling out a hat trick here. Like we said, Chigiri got that first goal of the match, which is great. I love that Chigiri's getting his shine here. It's definitely much deserved because he's been putting Manshine City on his back.
I do want to open up the conversation about what could happen in this match because there's still a few more goals in this match that need to be scored, and it's clear that Nagi and Reo are focused on changing and acting more as individuals. We're already seeing Reo stepping up as a playmaker and creating chances for other teammates like Chigiri. One thing that I would like to see is Reo stepping up more as an individual and achieving his own sense of ego and not just as Nagi's helper, because I think this change of Nagi becoming a post player and helping Reo in playmaking, I think this give more options to the team's overall offense, which could give Reo more options as a striker.
I mean, everybody knows that the Reo and Nagi link up is basically the bread and butter. It would be cool to see Reo kind of share a little bit of that ability and create more goal opportunities for the rest of his team. We know that Reo is this chameleon style player. He's the potential to be a really good playmaker, and I would like to see him step more into this role as we're starting to see with this match.
I will say, Chigiri scored the goal, but if Manshine City do win, then that means they have to score 2 more goals. If Reo doesn't score a goal of his own, I think Reo might get all 3 assists. I'm not gonna lie, I think it might be kind of hard for Chigiri to score 2 goals because it doesn't feel like there's any build up for Chigiri to step up as that type of player. I do think this gives the route for Nagi to become the hero of the game and score 2 goals similar to Isagi.
I could definitely see a world under the assumption that Manshine City wins this all, that Nagi gets the last 2 goals. But I also want to entertain the idea that Nagi and Reo will individually score the last 2. So Nagi gets 1 and Reo gets 1.
Anything could happen, and hopefully we do get to see it in the next chapter because there's still so many questions. Besides that, my other biggest question is why are the final rankings so confusing? It really makes no sense for 2 players to be ranked #1.
We saw that Isagi got an increase of about 90 million yen, and honestly, his performance in this match definitely deserves that type of money being added towards it. Rin gained 42 million, which also makes a lot of sense. Rin was able to awaken his destroyer state and definitely became more of a complete player now that he actually understands how to tap into that ability, but I still don't necessarily agree with them both being tied for first.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels really forced. They want to keep this rivalry between Isagi and Rin, especially going into the U20 World Cup. Honestly, that will probably be the real declaration of who's going to be the true #1. And I also don't like the fact that Isagi's accepting the fact that he tied with Rin, and he's also happy with being slightly matched with them, because it felt like his whole goal was to surpass Rin, but he didn't really surpass Rin, he just tied with them.
I agree with you, because remember, before this whole PXG match even happened, Isagi's whole goal was to stand at the top of Blue Lock. He is technically standing at the top of Blue Lock, but with Rin by his side.
Isagi should be #1 right now, even if he beat him by like 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. I know there's the narrative that, oh, Isagi only scored 4 goals, he shouldn't be up top, but bro, are we forgetting all the times that Isagi cooked Rin in this match? Yes, Rin cooked him with that nutmeg and made him fall on his ass, but Isagi was beating him multiple times before even linking up with Kaiser as well. When he started linking up with Kaiser, he was just cooking Rin the whole time.
Yeah, and I understand the argument that you want to keep the rivalry going. Obviously, that does make a lot of sense. The Isagi-Rin rivalry is just so good and everyone likes it. But just because Isagi gets a higher bid and is actually ranked #1 alone, doesn't mean the rivalry has to end there.
I feel like Isagi should have at least like 250 million. He went on to score 2 goals, beating Rin in that final 1v1. He was the game's protagonist. And let's not forget, his whole development and journey within the NEL has been insane. Like, he's been dropping masterclass performances and developing every single time. This guy Rin has been glazed so much that he needed Kaiser and Isagi to stop him. And on top of that, he still did enough to be the #1 player, and he was getting cooked in the beginning of that match. Chigiri blocked him, Isagi was blocking him and stopping him at times. Isagi scored a goal on him, but I don't think that deserves a big enough boost to still be tied with Isagi.
I'll definitely shoot Rin a little bit of bail here. He definitely was very quiet in this match up until he unlocked his destroyer state. All of that does have to do with how Charles decided to just completely troll this entire match. I still cannot believe that happened, but like you said, I don't think it needed to be something where it ended up tying with Isagi. It really doesn't make sense.
I don't even think Rin's gonna take the offer from Real, because Rin hates Sai. I don't see a world where Rin wants to play with Sai again, at least not right now. I think there's a good chance that Rin could even reject this bid from Real and still go to another club like PXG.
The Real bid is definitely interesting, and that was probably one of the bigger plot twists for me. I did not expect them to do that. I don't know if Rin's gonna take that bid. I feel like he's not, but it would be interesting to see those two work together. The thought of Rin and Sai working together just sounds crazy, like so crazy that we don't even believe that it can happen.
What if Rin denies this bid and then Real decides to give the same bid to Isagi? They do have the same value, so it's not completely ridiculous. Plus, they did see Kaiser and Isagi tear up the field together. If Real is still interested in keeping Kaiser and then they get Isagi as well, I feel like they'll gain a dangerous new duo. And then adding Sai on top of that, that would be a disgusting triangle. Imagine an attacking trio of Sai, Kaiser, and Isagi. That's actually ridiculous.
If you remember, Kanashiro did hint that Isagi and Sai could be teammates in the future, so there is a world where something like that does happen and Real instead decides to give the bid to Isagi.
Personally, I would prefer that, but this chapter was definitely a roller coaster, and I thought we were gonna get Isagi as the true #1. I thought we were gonna get Nagi goal and see the end of Barcha and Manshine City, but instead we got the beginning, and now we have Isagi and Rin tied.
I also want to see these final rankings already. I want to see who's going to be confirmed to go to this Japan 20 team.
When Ego said these are the final salary rankings, I was like, word, let's get it. And then we only see Isagi and Rin, so I was just like, what the fuck? But I really hope the next chapter actually shows us the whole list, because I want to see who are the 23 players who are going to be for the Japan U20 team. That being said, guys, let us know who you think the top 23 will be in the comment section, because we are very interested in seeing who those players are going to be.
And also let us know, do you think Rin is going to go to Real Madrid? Definitely let us know in the comments. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, please consider giving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. And as always, we do have a link to our community Discord, and that link can be found in the description of this video below.
Thank you for sticking to the end. It's Tev.
And it's Lotus.
Peace.